The scream ripped through the dark woods so loud it scared the birds out of the trees. Ethan froze, his flashlight shaking in his hand. The beam of light bounced across tall tree trunks and thick fog. Somewhere ahead, something heavy dragged across the ground. Leaves crunched slowly, like footsteps that did not care if they were heard. Behind him, the forest went silent. Too silent. Ethan felt eyes on his back. Not animal eyes. Something worse. Something patient. Then the flashlight flickered. In that short blink of darkness, a shape moved between the trees, tall, thin, and wrong. Its arms bent the wrong way. Its head tilted like it was curious. Ethan opened his mouth to shout, but no sound came out. The thing whispered his name. And then the woods answered back. The trees groaned. Branches snapped. The ground shook as if the forest itself was waking up. Ethan turned to run. And slammed straight into something standing behind him. The flashlight dropped. It rolled across the dirt and stopped, pointing back at Ethan. The light revealed a face inches from his own. Not human. Not alive. And smiling. The smile grew wider as the woods swallowed the sound of his scream. 3 days earlier, the woods had seemed harmless. Ethan Miller had never liked the forest, but he never feared it either. It was just trees. Just dirt. Just quiet. His parents said the quiet was good for the soul. The cabin sat deep in the woods of northern Pennsylvania, far from towns and roads. No cell service. No neighbors. Just miles of trees in every direction. Ethan's family came every fall. His mom loved the fresh air. His dad loved the quiet. His little sister, Lily, loved roasting marshmallows and telling silly ghost stories that never scared anyone. Ethan only came because he had no choice. The first night was calm. Too calm. Crickets chirped. The fire crackled. The sky was filled with stars. The woods stood tall and dark beyond the circle of firelight. "See?" Lily said, smiling. "Nothing scary." Ethan forced a laugh. "Yeah. Nothing at all." But he noticed something strange. The woods did not sound normal. The crickets stopped chirping whenever the fire popped. The wind moved through the trees in slow, careful waves, like someone breathing. Watching. Later that night, as Ethan lay in bed, he heard footsteps outside the cabin. Slow. Heavy. Steady. He sat up, heart pounding. The steps stopped right outside his window. Ethan held his breath. After a long moment, the steps moved away, deeper into the woods. The next morning, Ethan found footprints near the cabin. They were too big to be human. Too long. And they sank deep into the dirt, like whatever made them was very heavy. His dad shrugged it off. "Probably a deer," he said. But Ethan had seen deer tracks before. These were not deer. That day, they hiked into the woods. The path was narrow and twisted. Trees blocked the sunlight, turning the trail dark even at noon. Lily ran ahead, laughing. "Don't go too far," their mom called. Ethan stayed close to his parents. The deeper they went, the colder the air felt. The woods smelled damp and old, like something forgotten. They passed a tree marked with strange carvings. Deep lines cut into the bark. Circles. Arrows. Symbols Ethan didn't understand. "Who did that?" Lily asked. "No idea," their dad said. "Let's keep moving." But Ethan felt uneasy. The carvings looked fresh. Someone had been here recently. As they walked, Ethan felt the strange feeling again. Like the woods were listening. That night, the sounds returned. Not footsteps this time. Whispers. They came from far away at first, blending with the wind. Soft voices, saying words Ethan couldn't understand. Then he heard one clear sentence. "Stay." Ethan sat straight up in bed. The whisper came again, closer this time. "Stay." Ethan ran to his parents' room. His mom listened, her face pale. "I don't hear anything," she said softly. But Ethan knew he wasn't imagining it. The next day, the sky stayed gray. No birds. No insects. Just silence. They planned to leave early the next morning. That was when Lily went missing. It happened fast. One moment she was collecting sticks near the cabin. The next, she was gone. They called her name. No answer. Ethan felt the woods watching again. They searched for hours. The trees seemed closer now, tighter together, blocking their path. Then Ethan heard it. Lily laughing. "Lily!" he shouted, running toward the sound. His parents followed, yelling for him to stop. The laughter led deeper into the forest, far from the cabin. It echoed strangely, bouncing between the trees. Then it stopped. Ethan found Lily's shoe lying in the dirt. Just the shoe. No Lily. The sun began to set. Shadows stretched long and thin. The forest grew colder. That's when they saw the figure. It stood between the trees far ahead. Tall. Still. Watching. "Who's there?" Ethan's dad shouted. The figure didn't move. Then it stepped forward. Its legs bent the wrong way. Ethan's mom gasped. The figure raised an arm and pointed deeper into the woods. And from every direction the whispers returned. "Stay." The ground vibrated. Trees creaked. The forest seemed to lean in around them. Ethan realized the truth then. The woods were not just dark. They were alive. And they were hungry. Suddenly, Lily screamed. The sound came from behind them. Ethan spun around, and saw Lily standing at the edge of the trees. But something was wrong. She wasn't crying. She was smiling. Her eyes were empty. And behind her, shadows stretched and twisted, reaching toward the family like long fingers. Ethan took a step toward her. The shadows lunged. The forest roared. And the woods closed in. Ethan couldn't move. Lily stood only a few steps away, smiling the same smile she used when she wanted candy or a bedtime story. But her eyes were wrong. They didn't shine. They didn't blink. They were empty, like dark holes. "Lily?" Ethan whispered. She tilted her head. Slowly. The way the figure in the woods had done. "Stay," Lily said. Her voice didn't sound like hers. It sounded layered, like many voices speaking at once. Ethan's mom screamed and ran forward, but the shadows behind Lily stretched out fast. They wrapped around Lily's arms and legs like long black ropes. "Lily!" her mom cried. Ethan's dad grabbed her, pulling her back. "Don't!" he shouted. "Something's wrong!" The shadows yanked Lily backward. She slid across the ground without moving her feet, her smile never fading. Then she was gone. Pulled into the trees. The woods went quiet again. Too quiet. Ethan fell to his knees. His chest hurt. His head felt light. The forest felt closer now, like the trees had taken a step forward. His mom collapsed, sobbing. His dad stood frozen, staring into the darkness where Lily had vanished. "We're not leaving," his dad said finally, his voice shaking. "We're finding her." They followed the marks on the ground, dragged lines, broken leaves, snapped twigs. The trail led deeper into the woods, away from the cabin, away from anything safe. As they walked, Ethan noticed something strange. The forest was changing. Trees leaned inward, their branches tangled overhead, blocking the sky. The air grew thick and cold. The ground felt soft, like it was breathing under their feet. They began to hear things again. Whispers. Not words this time. Sounds. Crying. Laughing. Footsteps that stopped when they stopped. Ethan felt sick. They reached a clearing they had never seen before. In the center stood a large tree, older and wider than the others. Its bark was dark and twisted, covered in the same symbols Ethan had seen on the marked tree earlier. At the base of the tree lay dozens of shoes. Small ones. Big ones. Old and new. Ethan recognized one. Lily's shoe. His mom screamed again. "People," Ethan whispered. "The woods took people." The ground shook. Slowly, shadows peeled away from the trees. They rose up, forming tall shapes with long arms and thin bodies. No faces. Just darkness. The figure from before stepped forward. This time, Ethan could see it clearly. It wasn't wearing clothes. Its skin looked like tree bark stretched over bones. Its eyes glowed faintly, like moonlight through fog. You came back, it said. Its mouth didn't move. We want our daughter, Ethan's dad shouted. The thing tilted its head. The woods keep what is given, it replied. We didn't give her, Ethan yelled. The thing looked at him. Yes, it said calmly. You did. The ground beneath the old tree split open. Roots moved like snakes, pulling something upward. Lily emerged slowly, standing on the roots. She looked clean. Unhurt. She smiled again. Stay, she said. Ethan felt something cold wrap around his ankle. He looked down and saw shadows curling up his leg. His dad grabbed him, pulling him free. Run! He shouted. They ran. Branches whipped their faces. Roots tried to trip them. The whispers screamed now, angry and loud. You belong! Stay! The cabin came into view at last. They slammed the doors shut behind them and pushed furniture against it. The walls shook as something heavy hit the cabin from outside. The windows rattled. Ethan's mom cried quietly. His dad searched for something, anything, that could help. That's when Ethan remembered the symbols. The carvings, he said. They mean something. His dad nodded. Protection marks, he said slowly. I've seen them before. Old stories. The banging grew louder. Cracks formed in the walls. Ethan grabbed a knife and began carving the symbols into the wooden door, copying what he remembered. His dad helped, carving into the windowsills. The whispers turned into screams. The banging stopped. For a moment, everything was still. Then Lily's voice came from outside. Mom? She called softly. Dad? Ethan's mom stood up. No, Ethan said. Don't. The voice sounded perfect. Sweet. Scared. Please, Lily said. It's dark. His mom moved toward the door, crying. The door creaked as something leaned against it. Ethan blocked her path. That's not Lily, he said. Not anymore. The voice changed. The sweetness dropped away. Stay! It screamed. The door exploded inward. Wood splintered. Shadows poured inside like smoke. The symbols on the door glowed faintly and pushed the darkness back, but they were fading. The figure stepped through the broken doorway. The night is long, it said. And the woods are deep. Roots burst through the floor, wrapping around the furniture, crawling toward them. Ethan grabbed his parents' hands. The cabin shook. The lights went out. And the forest finally came inside. The darkness swallowed the cabin. Ethan could not see his hands. He could not see his parents. He could only feel them, his dad's grip tight and shaking, his mom's hand cold and trembling. The sound of wood cracking came from everywhere. The floor groaned as roots pushed up, thick and alive, splitting the boards like dry bread. The smell of dirt and rot filled the air. Then the lights came back. Not the cabin lights. A pale green glow spread across the room, shining from the symbols carved into the walls. They pulsed like slow heartbeats. The shadows hissed. They pulled back slightly, sliding across the floor and walls, avoiding the glowing marks. The tall figure stepped forward again. Its bark-like skin cracked as it moved. Its eyes burned brighter now. You resist, it said calmly. But the woods always win. Ethan felt anger rise in his chest. Fear was still there, but something else was stronger now. You took my sister, he said. Give her back. The figure turned its head toward him. She was called, it replied. The woods are lonely. A shape moved behind it. Lily stepped into the green light. She looked almost normal. No shadows. No twisted smile. Just Lily, wearing her jacket, her hair messy. Ethan? She said softly. His heart broke. Lily? He whispered. She took a step closer. The light flickered. Ethan saw it then. For a moment, her shadow moved the wrong way. His dad stepped forward. "Don't," he said firmly. "Stay behind the symbols." Lily's face changed. Her eyes went dark again. "You should have stayed," she said, her voice breaking into many voices at once. The roots surged forward. One wrapped around Ethan's leg and yanked him off his feet. He hit the floor hard, the air knocked out of his chest. "Ethan!" his mom screamed. More roots burst through the floor, grabbing chairs, tables, walls. The cabin was being pulled apart. Ethan kicked and clawed, trying to free himself. The root tightened, cold and strong. Then he remembered something. The stories. The symbols were not just protection. They were warnings. "The tree!" Ethan shouted. "The old tree! It's the heart of the woods!" The figure stiffened. His dad understood. "If we break it," he said, "the woods lose control." The figure raised its arms. "You will not leave!" The cabin walls cracked wide open, exposing the forest outside. The trees leaned in, branches clawing through the gaps. Ethan grabbed a burning log from the fireplace. The heat burned his hands, but he held on. "Fire," he said through clenched teeth. "The woods fear fire." The shadows recoiled as the flame flared. Ethan swung the log at the root around his leg. It shrieked and loosened, retreating into the floor. They ran. Out of the cabin. Into the dark woods. The forest screamed. Branches whipped their faces. Roots tried to grab their feet. The whispers roared, angry and loud. "Stay!" The old tree loomed ahead, taller than before, its symbols glowing faintly in the darkness. Lily appeared again, blocking the path. "Please!" she cried, tears in her eyes. "Don't leave me!" Ethan stopped. His mom sobbed. "That's our daughter." Ethan looked closely. Lily did not cast a shadow. "It's not her," he said. "I'm sorry." He threw the burning log. It struck the base of the old tree. Flames spread fast, crawling up the bark. The symbols flared bright green, then cracked and shattered. The forest screamed louder than ever before. The ground shook violently. Trees swayed and snapped. Shadows tore themselves away from the earth, spinning wildly. The tall figure staggered back. "No," it said, its calm voice finally breaking. "The woods are eternal." Ethan watched as cracks spread across its body, light pouring out from inside. "You were lonely," Ethan said. "But this is wrong." The figure screamed as it collapsed into ash. The flames roared higher. The shadows dissolved. Lily screamed one last time, a real scream this time. "Ethan!" She fell to the ground, real and solid. Ethan ran to her and grabbed her, holding her tight. The fire burned out suddenly. The forest went quiet. Not the heavy silence from before. A normal silence. Birds chirped. The wind moved gently through the trees. The old tree collapsed into a pile of blackened wood. The woods were still. They didn't wait. They ran until they reached the road. Morning light broke through the clouds. They survived. The police never believed the full story. They said Lily had wandered off. They said fear made things seem worse than they were. The cabin was gone when they returned. No ruins. No marks. Just empty ground. But Ethan knew. Weeks later, back home, Ethan lay awake in bed. He didn't like the dark anymore. Sometimes, when the house was quiet, he thought he heard the woods. Not outside. Inside his head. A soft whisper. "Stay." Ethan sat up and turned on the light. Nothing was there. Still, he never forgot. The woods were deep. The woods were dark. And somewhere, far away, roots were still growing. Waiting. For the next sleepless night.